Hello everyone, it's me Roslyn and I'm here to tackle about the step-by-step process for K1 Fiancé Visa. But before that, please like my video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. For those who already subscribed to my YouTube channel, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support to me and to my videos. And for those who's not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe. Let's help one another, and more videos, more tips that you can see and view to my YouTube channel. So don't forget to subscribe. Okay, let's start. Step 1. You need to submit your K1 application packet to USCIS. I do have a video for the preparation for the K1 application packet. Please watch that. I will write the link below. So after you submit the K1 application packet, the petitioner will receive a text message or an email and a hard copy of NOAA 1, Notice of Action 1. It means the USCIS already received your application. So after receiving the NOAA 1, the petitioner will receive either RFE. RFE meaning request for additional evidence. So once you receive RFE, you will gather all the documents, the additional documents, and then you will send it again to USCIS for their review. So once they review your application, the petitioner will receive NOAA 2, Notice of Action 2, that is I-797. It means your petition has been approved by the USCIS. So after getting the hard copy of NOAA 2 by your petitioner, you should call the NVC or National Visa Center 1 week after the petitioner received the NOAA 2 to ask for your Manila case number. If you are a Filipina, your case number will be started at MNL, then 10 digit. Okay, so if you waited long time and the petitioner haven't received the NVC letter hard copy, you can email the NVC. The email address is NVC inquiry. So NVC INQUIRY at state.gov. You can send email to NVC and ask for the status of your NVC letter. Just indicate to the body of the letter the petitioner's name, the petitioner's birthday, the beneficiary's name, the beneficiary's birthday, and the subject would be your WAC number, your case number. So email it and then ask what is the status of your NVC letter. So after receiving the hard copy of NVC letter, so that's it. The petitioner will only receive the NOAA 1, NOAA 2, and NVC letter. That's it. Okay, so after receiving the NVC letter by your petitioner, we will go to step 2. The beneficiary should pay for the interview appointment to BPI. Okay, Bank of the Philippine Islands. So estimated amount would be $265, but you should confirm that one if it is still the same amount. And then when the beneficiary go to the bank, the beneficiary should bring the passport, the cash payment, and the MRV slip. Okay, then the BPI will give you the receipt. Okay, so step 3, after paying for the interview to BPI, the beneficiary should set the appointment for interview. Okay, so after setting the appointment for interview, next step, step 4, the beneficiary should create DS-160. Okay, so after creating DS-160, step 5, the beneficiary should register to St. Luke's. Okay, so after after the beneficiary registered to St. Luke's, that's the time you need to prepare, or in advance you can prepare for the documents for the medical examination. That is 2 days the medical. Okay, then after the beneficiary already registered to St. Luke's, a day after that you can go to St. Luke's for your medical. That is 2 days medical. I have a video regarding the medical experience, my medical experience, so you can check that one. I will write the link below, so check that one. So that's so that you have an idea what would be the process and the requirements for the medical. Okay, so after your medical, you should wait. Actually, most of the time, beneficiary did not receive this document. Okay, the U.S. Embassy Manila will send a letter to the beneficiary. That is the eligibility letter. Okay, so that's the only documents that the U.S. Embassy will send to the beneficiary. Okay, that eligibility letter, it means the USCIS and the NVC approve your petition, and you are eligible to set an appointment for the interview. So the eligibility letter comes from the U.S. Embassy Manila together with the photocopy of the I-129F that you submit to USCIS with your alien number, and then there is an approve there. So that's it. So you should wait for that, or if not, you can email. So take note of this, okay? You should email before your interview the U.S. Embassy regarding your eligibility letter, because once you, if ever you are already approved and you already received your visa, and that's the time you email the U.S. Embassy for your eligibility letter, they will not grant it. They will not send you eligibility letter because you are already approved and you are already received your visa. So that's why I suggest before your interview, you email the U.S. Embassy Manila for your eligibility letter. So here's the email address: support@ustraveldocs.com. So support@ustraveldocs.com. So the subject of the email indicate your Manila case number, and then the body of the email indicate the petitioner's name, petitioner's birthday, beneficiary's name, and beneficiary's birthday, and then asked the U.S. Embassy what is the status of your eligibility letter. So wait for their reply, and once they reply to you, no PDF form for that, just an email, and no attachment for the I-129F. Okay, so send an email to them, or if you want, call the U.S. Embassy Manila for your eligibility letter. But if you did not receive your eligibility letter, it's fine, because eligibility letter is not required, or eligibility the U.S. consul will not ask for your eligibility letter. Okay, so it's fine if you don't have eligibility letter. Okay, so after that, whether you receive your eligibility letter or not, and you already set an appointment for your interview, and then you are already done with your medical, so that's the time you prepare for your interview. All the documents for your interview, you should prepare that, and I have a video for the preparation for the interview. All the documents I already indicated to my video, the list of all the documents, so you can check my video to help you what are the documents needed for the interview. And also I have an interview for my I have a video of my experience of my interview. So after your medical, step 7, your interview. When you are approved to your interview, well, that's good. But if not, if the consul asks for additional documents, you will send that additional documents to U.S. Embassy, and then after sending that documents, your visa will be approved and your visa will send to you. It depends if on your DS-160 or in your interview you set to deliver to your place or pick up. So it depends on your if you wanted to deliver or you wanted to pick up your visa. Okay, so once you receive your visa, you can set for the CFO. That's the last step. You will set the appointment for the CFO, and that is Commission on Filipinos Overseas. After you set for your appointment, you will go to the CFO for your CFO seminar. Then the CFO will give you your CFO certificate and your CFO sticker. So I already and one thing, I also have a video for the CFO seminar, so check that one. Then after your CFO, that's it. Final step, you can book your ticket now and you can fly and go to your petitioner, to your better half. So that's all the step. It's really simple. So if you have more questions, don't hesitate to reply or to comment to my video, and I will answer that immediately. Don't message me on Messenger because I didn't receive it. So much better, you should write your concerns or your questions to my YouTube video, and I will attend to it. I will answer it. So good luck. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and have a nice day, everyone.